Yeah, so welcome everyone to our AI study group for this week. Name's Daniel Bagaforum here, and I won't dive deep into who I am because, yeah, usually nandito talaga ako. So I'll be guiding you guys into building generative AI apps that think, talk, and remember. So this will be an introduction to Gemini, X Streamlit, X ChromaDB. So, I want you guys in the comment section sa Discord natin. It's on the top right corner of our screen, show chat. Let's click into that one. And I want you guys to um, chat in Gemini if you guys know, yeah, if you guys have ever used Gemini before or familiar kayo. Anyone in the anyone in the stream? Of course, ako, I will chat Gemini. Familiar, cool. So what's really good about Gemini is that it's for free. It's open. It's not open source. It's still a closed source model, but its API version has a free tier. Unlike OpenAI API and Claude AI. For OpenAI API, you do get free credits, but after that, that's it. You have to pay for it. But for Gemini API, I think it's forever for free. Hopefully. So yeah, that's one of the best things about Gemini. And you know, in the Open LLM arena, I think Gemini is a top contender alongside OpenAI and Claude. So I think a lot of people are familiar with this one. Really good. So another thing is Streamlit. Anyone familiar with Streamlit? Please chat in the chat box. Streamlit. Of course, I'll also do that. Familiar with it. I use it all the time. Cool. Awesome. That's really cool, Renz. Yeah, Streamlit using in Snowflake. Cool. So, ayan. A lot of people are familiar with it. How about ChromaDB? Anyone used ChromaDB before? There's a lot of different databases when it comes to LLMs. There's the Pinecone API. Um, there's Quadrant, and of course ChromaDB. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So another thing is ChromaDB, which will provide the power of memory. So later, AI usually has AI usually requires a different kind of database. Usually, we know about databases that are relational and yeah, the relational databases. But for AI, unfortunately, they'll be needing uh, they require embeddings and vector store indexes. So that's what ChromaDB is. Okay, so that's the kind of database ChromaDB is. So with this tree, you guys can be able to create your own AI tutors, research assistants, which is yeah, and list of video. So also I think it's for free. I haven't used it honestly. Uh, So you can create your own videos. You can create images. It's like Sora, but from Google. And there you go. I won't dive deep into that one because my screen might lag or something. So another thing is the build feature. So if you want to create something, this is the place. So there you go. There's a lot of different examples. A magical gift maker. Don't know how to pronounce that. Image to code. A maps explorer. Spatial understanding. A lot of things. You guys can check it out from your screen, right? So So this one is a very good environment. No recent apps, and you can create anything you want. It's still experimental, but it's already accessible in Google AI Studio. So yeah, this one is what I first did. It's like I know 9 months ago. Apparently, that's when I started with this one. So yeah, so I just asked how to perform RAG and CSV using Gemini API or Gemini 1.5 Flash. And there you go. It did everything for me. Really good. So yeah, this one is the dashboard. So if you want to get the power of Gemini into your own app or your own website, you just have to go through this one, and there you go. Just get your API. Make sure you have your own project in what's this GCP to be able to access this. And there you can see everything here is a different app. There's yeah. Oh, I think this one is it's a mobile application. This one is a website. This one's another website. This one is just I don't know, different things. So just make sure to do that. And as you can see, guys, this is all for free. I didn't spend anything. And yeah, except for this one. Oops, sorry. I think this was when I was I think volunteering for Google. There you go. So there's also the usage and billing. If you're quite scared of maybe you're doing too much, you can access everything here. And apparently on May 30, I used Gemini Flash 2.0 117 times. So that's how you check, okay? Really cool. A lot of different models, right? You can also change here. And the billings, setup billing, there's no billing involved. And the projects, of course. Okay. So this is only for safety reasons on why Gemini encapsulates everything in a project. So maybe if you're a freelancer, you have this certain project and you want to bill the client, this is where you look. And this is where you get proof that it's that expensive. Okay, let's go for the Google API documentation. Anyone have questions so far about Gemini maybe? You guys can chat in the chat box. I'll look from time to time, okay? So yeah, this one is the Google Gemini API's documentation. Let's share our, yep, cool. Someone's typing. Okay, I'll get back to you, okay? Take your time. So yeah, this one is a Google API Studio or API documentation. And as you can see, Gemini API is available in the following Python, there's JavaScript, there's Go language, and of course Java. And if you have a different language, you can just use a REST API to call it all the time. This is how you do it. Just copy paste and run it. So yeah, for us, we'll be using Python. But if you guys are interested, then I used JavaScript for a website before. Yeah. So it's just the same thing. As you can see. So really cool. There's a lot of different things here. So what I will be stressing into is the rate limits. Because for every API, an AI engineer needs to be knowledgeable about the rate limits for this closed source models. You don't want to be charged don't want to be shockingly charged too much, just in case. So there you go. So for RPM, which is uh, what I told you guys earlier, it means request per minute. Request per day is RPD. TPM is tokens per minute. And tokens per day is TPD. And as you can see, this one is the usage tiers. Thank God, Philippines is part of the eligible countries for free tier, or else we'll be having a hard time teaching Gemini here. So there's also tier 1, there's also tier 2, and tier 3. So to reach tier 1, you just need to have a billing account linked, and tier 2, you just have to spend. And I think this one is the same for, yeah, this is the same for different API services for closed source models. It's even more elaborate in OpenAI OpenAI API. Like there are 5 tiers, and I'm currently just in tier 3. It's quite hard actually because you need to spend a lot, as you can see. So maybe that's something you guys should also improve on, right? So having an account that spent a lot of money for APIs gets you access to more capabilities, apparently. And you can see it here in action. Okay? For the free tier, you're only able to call the API 10 times per minute. But for tier 1, you just attach your billing account and you get 1,000 per minute. If you're in tier 2, you get 2,000. Tier 3, 10,000. So that's really cool. Okay. So you can, I'll look more into that here. I won't dive deep. But as you can see, there's a lot of free models. Okay. Even the live API, it's, yeah, you can have 3 concurrent sessions. And for Gemini 2.5, there's 1. And another experimental model, that's also 1. So there you go. So if you guys are like enterprise level, you guys can also request a rate limit increase. Maybe tier 3, tier 3 is not enough for you. You guys need to request that from Google. So yeah, lastly, let's look into, man, it's not here anymore. There we go. Let's look into this one. This is the last one already, okay? So yeah, this is what we'll be using later, Gemini 2.0 Flash. So this is how you look into how you get the overview of a model. What can we put in the model, you ask? There's audio, there's images, video, and text. The output will only be in text, apparently. Input token limit, it's 1 million. The output of token limits, it's this apparently. So yeah, these are the tools. So thinking is still an experiment. It's experimental. Image generation for the API is not supported. You need VO for that one. And there you go. So versions, there's a lot of a lot of versions. Latest now is the Gemini 2.0 Flash. Stable now is Mevong 001. Experimental, you put the EXP. And the latest update now is from February 2025. Knowledge cutoff is there. So this one is more comprehensive in the documentation than here. So mas comprehensive pa rin sa documentation. So I suggest you guys still look into these kinds of things. Or maybe you can ask Gemini right? Okay, so that's yeah the link for that one. So yeah, that's Gemini. I think that's all for Gemini. Really cool thing. So let's go for the next one. Streamlit, or the face of the app. The cool thing about this one is that it's an open source Python framework. So, imagine this. Gusto mo mag-code ng website, usually you need JavaScript, you need some sort of HTML, some structure, some CSS. Maybe you even need to have a framework like React, Next.js, Vue.js. But for Streamlit, you don't need that. You just need to know Python. So we're able to have Streamlit is able to provide a UI layer for your ideas. Like I said earlier, usually the AI engineers, the data scientists, they focus on dealing with data, not creating websites. But yeah, an AI engineer that knows how to create websites, that's powerful. So with Streamlit, you're able to create interactive, simple, and deployable apps. And what's really good here? No front-end skills needed. Use cases. Makikita natin later. I mean, we'll see later. Napatagalog ako. Is that we'll have dashboards. We're able to create front-end for an AI and for demo purposes and internal tools. So usually when I use Streamlit, I use it in a way na parang I use it in a way to communicate with the client on how they can interact with the AI. I don't just give a code. I don't just give code to let's say a founder or my client, right? I don't just give code. I give them an app like Streamlit, Chainlit. Last month we talked about Chainlit. I give them this, and they're able to really interact with, the website, no? Or the AI, perhaps. When I send them picture, I don't know. So, yeah, that's cool. Let's look on the website ng Streamlit, okay? So, this one is Streamlit.io. I'll send the link here. Sige, let's, chat sa chat box, Streamlit. I just wanna see kung sino pa yung nakakasunod. Okay, may mga nag-chat naman. Cool. Yan. So yeah, this is Streamlit. And as you can see, import Streamlit as ST. That's how you use Streamlit in Python. Okay? So, it's very easy to use. May mga, mga functionalities or methods, I think. Yeah, methods. And you can do all those kinds of things. Okay. So, as you can see, when you create a Streamlit app, you're creating the website and an app on your phone. Because, I think Streamlit is a progressive web app. I don't know. Ito yung parang mga website na may parang pag binisit mo sila when you visit them in your phone, there's a prompt wherein you're able to download an app version of it. And when you go to that app, you're just going to that website. So that's really cool. This is how you download Streamlit. Pip install Streamlit. And there's Streamlit Hello. So there you go. Embrace scripting. And these are the different widgets available in Streamlit. As you can see, you can use that. And there's this pick a file or drag or drop files here. I want you. Gumana siya. Okay. I want you guys to remember this one because we will be using this later. that is called ST file uploader. Tapos pick a file. Plus we have also a color picker, radio buttons, and a calendar or date input. Okay. So another cool thing about Streamlit is the Streamlit Community Cloud, which is for free. Or if you want to be more enterprise level deployment, we will be using Snowflake. So I think someone in the chat box mentioned that earlier. So that's really cool. Ayan. Meron na nag-open ata ng Streamlit app. So there you go. Really cool thing. So actually, when I started Streamlit, I used it for a project at school. I didn't know how to do it at first, but how I learned is through this. This one is Streamlit App Gallery, and you're able to look at the different examples of data app, web apps that others created. So let's take a look at one. Let's take a look at Pretty Map. Okay. So let's take a look at that one. So as you can see here, it's created by this guy from Berlin, Germany. Yeah, thank you so much. So that's Pretty Map. So I think you just put in a location here, and it will provide this stylized version of the map, right? Layout of a map. So this one is Macau. This one is Barcelona. It can take a while, I think. But it's a very, good one, right? So actually, this app here, this website, was created using Python. And how can let's say I really like Pretty Map. I want to create my own version of it. Well, that was me when I started, right? I wanted to, how did this guy create it? So I just go here on the top right, there is a icon of GitHub. I click that, and this is the code for Pretty Map apparently. So unfortunately, it's a very elaborate app, and it's coded like a software engineer, right? So there's a lot of different things for Pretty Map file and stuff. But the thing is, you guys, once I go here, let's start him. Once I go here, this is a good example of a Streamlit application that I can learn from. Why is that? Well, there is proof that this app works, and this is the code base. So let's say I'm a new person in Streamlit. I just look at the code, and there you go. I get to learn how it was made. So apparently, there's this kinds of things, and So this one was how it was made, and I'm able to download it. I think it's in a MIT license, so we're safe. We are safe to download. You can clone or download zip file, and there you go. You have update it a little, and it's yours. So you have your own version of Pretty Map. But of course, we should always practice acknowledging the people who created it first. So you just star it or fork something like that. And there you go. That's an example of Streamlit. So that's how I learned Streamlit. I just look for a demo or a app here, and I ask how it was made. I just go to the There we go. How did they make the charts? So let's just go to GitHub, their GitHub, and this is how it was made. And now I will learn how to make charts in Streamlit, right? And there we go. I think this is a good example on how to learn. So yeah, there's a lot of different apps here. Really cool thing. I won't dive deep anymore, but yeah, there's a lot. So yeah, there's a zero shot text classifier and stuff like that. A lot of things. There's also Kate. I don't know what Kate is, but yeah, it's there. Okay. So yeah, this one is the documentation. So I'll just send in a link. Mabagal lang. Ginamit ko siya for badge. Oh, cool. So yeah, this one is the documentation for Streamlit. I want you guys to save it because yeah, once we code our demo later, I won't dive deep into how it was made or what. I'll just teach you guys where the references are, okay? So yeah, that's Streamlit. Face of the app. So last one is ChromaDB. Okay, ChromaDB. So this one is the memory system, and of course I told you guys all about it. It's an open source vector database that stores meaning. So the way an LLM work is that they do this semantic or similarity searches regarding relevant info regarding on our question. So with ChromaDB, we're able to perform that. That's basically RAG. You get the question, what do you think is the most relevant information based on the embeddings? It computes it, and this one is the relevant information. I get it, I feed it to AI, and that's the answer. So that's RAG. So that's that's what we will be doing later. Okay. So context of LLMs. A context for LLMs here, and we're able to improve accuracy. The thing about ChromaDB, guys, is that usually LLMs, or let's say Gemini by itself, it doesn't know the context of certain information. Let's say you have confidential documents, or let's say you have just a document that you want to talk about. Well, if you don't provide it, Gemini won't know about it. We need to have a database to store that information, so we can talk all about what we want, okay? So with ChromaDB, you're able to support retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. So use cases: chat with documents, do a semantic search, and personal knowledge bases. So yun nga, mga confidential documents na ayaw mo, you don't want the Gemini or Google to know about, to have access to. You create your own RAG bot, and there you go. That's the concept of a local assistant. So that's what we'll be doing today. So yeah, that's the last part. Pasadahan ko lang ng ChromaDB na documentation. Okay? So for ChromaDB, it's TryChroma. Okay? And of course, I told you guys all about it. It's an open source vector database that stores meaning. So the way an LLM work is that they do this semantic or similarity searches regarding relevant info regarding on our question. So with ChromaDB, we're able to you put the exp. And the latest update now is from February 2025. Knowledge Cat Office there. So this one is more comprehensive in the documentation than here. So mas comprehensive pa rin sa documentation. So I suggest you guys you still look into this kinds of things. Or maybe you can ask Gemini. Right? Okay, so that's the the link for that one. So that's Gemini. I think that's all for Gemini. Really cool thing. Sa client or kay Chroma is Python and JavaScript. But it's also available elsewhere. Now remember. So yun. Okay. This is how I contribute. And I think yung pinaka masasabi ko about ChromaDB, pinaka gusto kong feature niya is the telemetry system. So telemetry. Usually, yung mga AI natin, the AI, when we use what's this? Yeah, a database for the AI, right? We don't usually know how that happened, but with the telemetry system of ChromaDB, we're able to know certain information like, pakita natin. Basta this one is like how we got the certain information. Like, let's say I ask this question. Apparently, with the telemetry system, it will provide me the certain documents that we fed the AI to provide this information or to provide this output. So there's a way to test. There's a way to backtrack how that happened, rather than just say, "Well, that's the power of AI." We also have to know how that happened, right? So this is my favorite part about ChromaDB. But yeah. So behind the scenes, ChromaDB will be actually be creating a database, which is what I'll show you guys later. So once you provide a document, it stays there forever unless you delete that local database. So there you go. Okay, we won't dive deep into this one, but that's just how ChromaDB works. Okay, there's also the embedding functions. There we go. So yeah, that's ChromaDB. Okay. Siguro dito pakita ko na lang yung ano. Okay. I don't know where that is, but examples. There we go. Oh no, this one is the OpenAI cookbook. Yeah, I don't know where that is, but maybe I'll share a link soon on where to find the examples, like example applications of ChromaDB. Well, we'll be creating one anyway, so that's good. Okay, cool. So how they work together. Gemini will be the brain, Streamlit will be the UI or the face of the app, ChromaDB will provide the power of memory, and yeah, this is the process flow for our demo later. So, like I told you guys, the user will ask a question, and ChromaDB will retrieve info. ChromaDB gives this info to Gemini. Gemini, yeah, gets that info and generates an answer. And then Streamlit will display the response in their front end. So yeah, that's what we'll be creating. So yeah, that's the discussion. So let me just set up my screen or set up my laptop for our hands-on activity. Yeah, thank you so much, Wenz, for sending those links. Yeah. We need people like Renz. Okay, so does anyone? Yeah, I think does everyone have a what's this? VS Code? May VS Code bang lahat? Please type in the chat box VS Code if you are able to follow. If you want to follow with the hands-on activity. Else, you can just watch. Watching is cool. Yeah, that's all right as well. But of course, if you want to learn and you want to live with a working version of a example of it, you have to also okay. Let's just create one. Okay, cool. Let me just oops. Let me just share my screen already. Ito ba siya? Yup, that's right. Okay? So, share ko lang din yung screen ko sa ano. Yeah, there we go. So, sige, dyan lang muna siya. Wait, aayusin lang ako dito. Cool. Ano yung nakikita nyo sa screen ko? Is it VS Code, right? Nagamit ko na rin siya ng PyCon APAC 2025. Cool. A stream post. Okay, sorry. How about now? Nakikita ba? Oh, okay, got it. So, pag naka-off siya, nagpo-pause. Okay. First time ko kasi gamitin ng Discord. Usually, Google Meet. Okay. So, how did we get here? Okay. I think I need to share my whole screen. Ano naman? How did we get here? Okay. Oops. I want you guys to create a folder na accessible ni Python. Nakikita ba? Hindi nakikita yung pop-up eh. Pero yeah, I think you guys are knowledgeable enough. You just have to create an empty folder for this project. And there you go. So, to test na available yung Python sa project na yun, you just do Python version. And there you go. That's the version of Python available. Okay? Okay? Looks good. Okay. So for this one, usually when we start a project, may template. Well, for us, gagawin natin siya isa-isa. So, let's go for the first file, okay? This will be called requirements, the text. Oh, nag-type script. Yan, text dapat. Ayan, requirements.text. It can be named anything, but usually sa GitHub, may parang consensus na requirements.text yung tawag lagi. And what I'll be providing here is all the different packages, Python packages that we'll be using for the project. So, ganon. So, let me just get that. Yeah. Okay. So, ito yung mga gagamitin natin. And, share ko rin siya sa inyo para hindi kayo mahirapan. Ayan. Okay? Kita ba? Okay. So, ang meron tayo, or what we have, is, of course, Streamlit and Google Generative AI. Tapos, I don't know why I had this, but I think, siya. Well, that's alright. This one is for web scraping. I think an old version of this the demo did web scraping first. But yeah, we also have BS4, which is Beautiful Soup. We also have requirements, request, sorry. Request is about, doing API requests, REST API requests, ganon. Streamlit option menu is, the option menu of Streamlit. And Streamlit extras are other widgets like, I think we'll be using a Dropbox widget later. And we also have ChromaDB, which is very important. Another important tool is PyPDF2. What is PyPDF2? Well, our data will be a PDF, and I'll show you guys na. Copy ko siya dito. Now. So, PyPDF, yung data natin is mga PDF files. Sobrang dami. Okay. So, this will be our data set, apparently. So, it's called the Financial Wellness Journal in English. It's from BPI. Ayan. So, what is it all about? So, parang gumawa tayo ng parang saving na chatbot or something like that. Financial wellness chatbot, ayun. So, ito yung ibibigay natin na information sa AI later. Madami siya. And I don't think I will read too much. So, yun. So, that's what we'll go through PyPDF2. Okay? Another thing is LangChain. When you deal with LLMs, usually LangChain is, hindi mo siya maiiwasan. LangChain lagi. LangGraph, LangChain, and other things. So, yeah, you always need that. And lastly is the sentence transformers. So, yeah, for our embeddings and stuff like that. Yan. Sabi ni Renz, to add additional context, having requirements that text would help you guys ensure that your project dependencies are reproducible. Tama. Really good. And when you are sharing it with others, or, ayun, i-propose nyo sa GitHub, isang lang nila, which is what I'll do right now. Once you have the requirements that text, you list down all the different packages that you'll need. And how do you download all of them? So you just do pip install -r. -r means read. And we put in the file name, requirements .text. And there you go. Okay? So, nagda-download na siya isa. Unlike kung pwede nyo rin naman gawin yon, like, isa-isa, like pip install Streamlit, pip install Generative AI, pip install BS4, pip install request. That's also alright, but with requirements that text, you can do it in one, what's this? Isang command lang. And I'll share it para sa mga bago. Okay? So, what I typed in the chat box or in my terminal is this one. Okay? Sorry guys, I have to assume that everyone has Python in their computers. So, maybe we can have a different session for that one para sa mga taong walang Python sa computer nila. That's a good session. But for now, I have to assume. Okay, so there you go. Pip install requirements. There. So we have has everyone done this already? Nakapag pip install na ba kayo? Please type in the chat box 1 if you have finished that one. Okay, cool. Mr. Beast 1, Renz 1. Awesome. Hathor as well. Yeah, I know Hathor. Tama ba yung pagka-pronounce ko? Sorry. Yeah, I think it's Hathor. Okay, Haftor. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we have requirements that text. So the next thing is, let's see. Now we have our requirements that text, right? We need to initialize 2 different files. Okay? One is app.py. Earlier, yung pinakita ko yung pretty map, yung index that, sa websites, there's something called the index.html. Pag Python yung ginagamit natin, I think it's app.py. So, another analogy is sa requirements.txt. Sa web development, yun yung package.json. So, it just updates pag and all of that. Okay? So, we have app.py, and we also have utils.py. There we go. So, for the utils, the app.py will be the main thing. That's the main thing. For utils, this will provide the utility functions. Okay? Tingnan natin. Okay? So, I'll be providing code already. Explain ko na lang yung mga code natin. So, for utils, we'll be using, ito na yung underlying logic, actually. We'll be using PyPDF2, ChromaDB, and yung operating system natin. Because utils.py will be contains yung classes on how to create your own database sa mo. So, PyPDF will be for manipulating the PDF we have or the dataset. ChromaDB is, ChromaDB. And we have also the list and operating system. Usually, this one operating system, this one is a very scary, na package or import. Usually, pag nakita mo yan, dapat you should always be wary of the code that's being provided to you. Why? Well, import.os allows the Python or the code to manipulate your operating system as a whole. So, pwede yan mag-delete ng kung ano-ano and stuff. But for this demo, guys, this one is merely to provide a database. So, once I run this code or run this application, mag-i-initialize yan ng database. And operating system or the import OS allows me to initialize that in our computer. Okay? So, for our first download, share ko muna to. Okay? Yan, copy-paste na lang kayo, guys. So, first natin na function is extract text from PDF. Okay. So, very straightforward. We create the variable na PDF reader. Sa PyPDF2, meron tayong PDF reader na class. And we will be providing the PDF file. Aside from that, we are creating a variable called text na nakastring.empty or walang laman na string. Create tayo ng isang we will be creating a function, a for loop perhaps. For loop, tama. May for loop tayo na pupunta siya, gagamitin niya yung PDF reader. Kukunin yung pages. Once we have a list of the number of pages, we go through each page, extract the text, and concatenate or add it to the text. So, that's what currently happens. Yung PyPDF, siya, it gets the PDF, kukunin lahat ng text. Tayo naman, pag nakuha na ni PyPDF yung text, i-concatenate natin yun sa isang variable, and that's how we extract the text. That's how we deal with the data for now. Okay, let's provide you guys that one. Let me just... Okay. So, any questions right now? Wala pa naman. So, just copy and paste, guys. Same with mine. Okay? The next na, function na ibibigay ko is create chunks. So, that's another parameter in RAG. Chunks. Okay? Pakita natin. There we go. So, this one is create chunks. Basically, sabi na dito sa, it will split the text into chunks by sentences, trying to keep sentences together. So, sa PyPDF, it actually doesn't understand na naka-sentence ba to? Or maybe different page siya or what. But for create chunks, gagawa tayo ng simple logic. We know that sentences end with a dot. Or, yun. I forgot the, ano yung tawag dyan. Basta dot, di ba? Yan. Or period daw. Yan, period. Buti na lang may mga notes tayo. Yan. So, we will assume na per period, meron tayo, that's a sentence. And that's what we'll be doing. Okay? Now, for chunks, ayan. Naka-list. And this one is our current chunk. String.empty then. So, for each sentence in sentences, we strip the sentence, okay, from the rear end sa, trailing, right? We add a, what's this? We add a period. Tapos, for the current chunk, we add a space, tapos sentence. So, how this works is that sa loob ng chunk, sentence, tapos merong white space, tapos plus sentence ulit. Ganun siya. Tapos, ito pa. Meron tayo if current chunk. Ayan. Tapos na. Mag-append tayo and isi-strip natin siya. So, itong create chunks na to, it's more on cleaning the data. Okay? So, kunyari, siya, medyo nawala yung spacing, ganun. Ayan, period po. Yeah, thank you so much. Ayan. So, there we go. Let me just, open my light lang. Ayan. Medyo madilim na dito eh. Okay. So, that's just create chunks. And the last one is a class. So, class siya. And it's called Simple Chroma DB. Basically, ito yung parang building blocks ng database natin. As you can see, sa initialized, gagawa tayo ng directory called, or folder, right? It's called ChromaDB. Sa ChromaDB na yon, sa operating system, sabi niya, make a directory. Ano yung pangalan? ChromaDB. If it exists true, leave it. Okay? So that's what happens here. Tapos, sa self-client, magper-persist na siya. So, what that means is that when you provide something, you provide the financial wellness journal, in our case. Once you provide that, it stays there forever. Unless i-delete ko. Unless i-delete ko yung ChromaDB na folder. So, that's what happens. Okay? Ayan. So, another thing, try to get collection. Mga functionalities niya. And, here, how do we add? How do we add different PDFs or documents? So, ayan. This is how we add, apparently. We add the document chunks to the collection. Ayan. So, every chunk, every may ID siya, tapos may metadata. Saan yung source? Ngayon, sa PDF lang. Yeah, PDF lang. Pero, let's say you want to make it very elaborate. Where is the source? Well, from the Financial Wellness Journal, ganun. Tapos, another thing is search. So, this is how we look for things. Ayan. So, ito guys, the end results, this one is the number of documents. And it's already explicitly nakalagay siya dyan. So, if you guys later, pag nag-experiment na kayo, you wanna change the parameters, you just change things here. Okay? Ayan. So, ayan. So, for the chunk size, same thing. Ngayon, yung chunk size natin is 1,500. Pero kung sa data mo, yung isang document is like 5 pages. Well, you need mas malaking chunk or per fact, parang mas madaming pages, like 3 pages yung isang information. So, you need to change the chunk size. But for this one, I think 1,500 is enough. Okay? So, that's the class called simple. And ayan. Parang ba't lumaki yung iba? Okay. If pangit pa rin yung sa formatting sa Discord na chat, naka-GitHub to. So, yeah, I'll be providing the GitHub later. So, yeah, we're done with utils.py. Now, we need to go to the app itself. Okay? Nag-chat. Okay. So, the same thing for every Python na file. Imports muna tayo. So, ito lang yung imports ko. Streamlit, tapos yung Gen AI or Google AI. Beautiful Soup. Yeah. Okay lang yan. And warnings. Streamlit option menu. And there we go. So, another thing is from utils. So, yung utils, galing to sa utils.app natin. So, if you want to reference something, like saan galing tong option menu, you just press control and click option menu. And ito yung code niya sa package. So, you'll know all about it. Okay? So, that's how you reference. Okay? Okay. So, share ko lang to. So, nakakasunod ba sa app.py? Nasa app.py ba lahat? Okay. Wala na nag-chat. Okay lang yan. Okay. So, first sa natin, app.py. First step sa natin, application is i-initialize muna yung database. So, sa Streamlit, there's something called the session state. Kasi yung Streamlit, how it works is that every time may ginawa ka, para nagre-refresh siya. So, nawawala lahat ng information aside from sa session state. So, if you want something to persist, parang database, sa session state ka gumagawa ng variable. So, ginawa ko dito, session state, gumawa ko ng something like ChromaDB. And sa loob nun, I initialize the simple ChromaDB na class. And with that class, I already created the database. Okay? So, ayan, initialize yung ChromaDB. Error. Sige, let's look at the errors later. Can you send a screenshot, perhaps? Ayan. So, that is how we initialize yung database natin. Okay? Okay, so what's next? The next is i-initialize na natin si Gemini. Okay? So, how does that work? Kailangan natin initialize yung temperature, top P, top K, and even the max output tokens. Additionally, kailangan din natin at sabihin sa Gen AI na package, anong model yung kailangan natin? Ang kailangan namin, Gemini 0.2 Flash. So, let's do that. Copy-paste lang ako. Ayan. So, here. So, one notable thing is yung temperature natin is 0.1. Usually, pag mga RAG bots, yan, mga knowledge base, mabababa yung temperature niyan because we're dealing with facts. We don't want to make things up. Okay? So, yan. Pakita ko lang to. There you go. Okay. So, that's how we generate the configuration. So, this is just a map. Or, hindi naman map. Ano yung dictionary? Tama. Yeah, so, dictionary, sa loob nun, may temperature, may value, may key, may value, key value, and iproprovide natin yan sa generation config. Okay? So, we know na it allows that because here, we are able to check it here. Okay, so that's how you reference. Sa generative model, ano yung mga available na model names? Ito yung mga available na model names. If hindi na na specify, ito yung ginagamit. Okay? So, ayan. Okay, cool. So, sa another thing sa Gemini, sa API, sa experience ko, walang system prompt, but I'll be providing one. So, lagay natin siya. System prompt. Ayan, system prompt. So, system prompt is like yung how can I say that? Parang when you wake up, this is your role. When the AI is initialized, ito yung role niya. Okay? You are a helpful assistant. That is the default na system prompt. Ayan. So, pakita ko lang dyan. Okay, cool. So that's for the AI. Now, I'll go for the Streamlit. So, every time you start a Streamlit app, lagi natin kailangan iset yung page configuration. So, for this one, ito yung page title, introduction to Streamlit and Gemini API, and stuff like that. Okay? So, yung title page, makikita yan sa tabs. Okay? May page icon din, pero hindi ko nilagyan. Pero you can usually add emojis dito. Tapos, yun yung magiging niya, parang yung icon. Okay? And then, layout wide. Yun. Because we're in the computer. So, usually, it's always wide. But there are also other layouts. So, sa sa web app natin, ang na-visualize ko, guys, is may parang sidebar. So, sidebar na yon, doon natin ilalagay yung Google API keys natin, and we enter natin, i-verify niya kung tunay ba tong API key ng Google or Gemini. If yes, mag-a-approve siya. If no, mamumula. So, ayun. So, how do we do that? So, medyo bibilisan ko na guys kasi naubusan na tayo ng oras. Yan. Okay? So, we will be having this widget called the ST sidebar. There you go. So, sa sidebar na to, meron tayong variable na API key. And sabi dito, yung variable na yon is st.textInput. This is a text box, guys. And nakasulat doon, enter API key token. That's password. So, yung password, dots lang yung nagpapakita sa screen kahit magta-type ka. So, once na meron na tong laman, or it's occupied already, i-configure siya kay Gemini na natin, Gen AI, yung API. The model will also create is a Flash, Gemini 2.0 Flash. Okay? Tapos, gagawa tayo dito ng hello test. This one is inspired sa networking, wherein may mga packets tayo, right? Or may mga routers. So, how does a router know na another router exists in the network? Meron tayong tinatawag na hello test. So, magsasend lang siya ng packet or hello sa router na yon. And if it replies back, nag-hi siya or nag-hello din, it means it exists. Nag-exist yung router na yon. Gumagana yung router na yon. Same lang dito, pero sa API. Okay? So, if that works, may na-generate na content, successful, else mag-error to. Mag-error na this is not a valid API, ganun. Yan. Mag-exception siya. Invalid API key or error. Tapos icon. Tapos, after that, meron na tayong option menu. So, sa option menu natin, may dashboard. Mayroon tayong home, about us, chat, and RAG PDF. Okay? Cool. So, copy-paste natin. And there you go. Ayan siya, guys. So, let's run it. So, how do you run this? Python. Ay. Yan, Python, module, Streamlit, run app.py. There we go. Share natin yung screen natin doon. Ayan siya. So, meron na tayong dashboard and yan. Okay. Tapos, gawa tayo ng API key. Saglit. So, ito tunay na API key. Tapos, mag-run siya, hello test. Tapos, yes. Ayan. That works. Okay. So, that's the option menu. Okay? So, next natin na gagawin is so for the chatbot itself, lang tayo, initialize din tayo sa state, session state natin. Gawa lang ako ng message and chat session. So, para sa database lang to, pero sa, yun nga, session ng chat. That way, nasa-save siya. Kahit, nagre-refresh yung Streamlit. Okay. So, first of all, nakita natin earlier sa sa dashboard is home. Bilisan ko na guys ha. Yan, meron tayong home. So, lalagay ko lang doon, ipapaskill ko lang, this is the home page. And sa About Us natin, else if ako, About Us, this is the About Us page. So, natapos na yung home page and About Us. Yung landing page natin, lagi naka-if sa options. Okay? Pag naka-option menu tayo. So, copy-paste. And there you go. Okay, di ko na muna i-run. So, the next thing is yung RAG PDF. Send ko na to, copy-paste natin lahat. Paste lang yan. Okay, there you go. Okay. There you go. Sa RAG PDF, sabi dito, PDF Knowledge Assistant. Yung, meron tayong widget, which is the File Explorer, File Uploader, to upload a PDF document. So, yung type natin is PDF. PDF lang, pero pwede mong palitan. Makikita mo yan dito. Dito. Yan. So, yan, iba-iba siya. Okay? So, if uploaded file is not none, gagawa tayo ng temporary na file dito. Yan. Tapos, isulat natin doon and the name. Spinner, may sa spinner, may ikot-ikot na parang design. Sabi doon, processing PDF. And, ayan, tinatawag na natin yung sa mga text sa PDF. And so yung text sa PDF na yon, ita-chunks natin. So, chunks. And yung mga chunks na yon, gagawin na nating document sa database. So, let's try out, no? Ayan. So, I think kaya na to. Yeah, this is enough to run it. Try natin. Same na, i-copy-paste natin muna. Pakita ko sa inyo. Hindi ako naka-premium. Okay? Yan. Tapos, there you go. Yan. So, ito yung command na ginagamit ko, guys, para to run the Streamlit app. Wala. Copy-paste lang din dito. M means module. Okay? So, para sa mga tao na walang API keys, gawa tayo. Ako muna. Lagyan ko muna ng API key ko. Tapos, kayo. Mga 3 API keys siguro. Kasi I think kailangan mo din ng GCP account to have access to this para makagawa ka ng mga API key. So, ayan. There you go. Mag-share na lang kayo dyan. Like, pili lang kayo. Kasi naman yan, 15 requests per minute. So, I think that's a lot. Hindi nyo naman isa spam, right? Ayan. So, ito yung API ko. So, share ko lang yung screen ko doon. Okay? Change the stream. And let's go for this one. Okay. As you can see, dito yung homepage. kanina. So, initialize lang natin. Homepage, about us. This is the about us page. Tapos chat, wala pa to. Meron tayong rug PDF. Okay? So, sa Knowledge Assistant, meron tayo nito. So, I just browse the files and there you go. Ayan. So, if titingnan nyo yung share ko nga yung buong screen ko. Entire screen. Ayan, share natin entire screen. If titingnan nyo, habang pinaprocess, gumawa na siya ng directory sa ChromaDB. And there is this thing. That is actually yung document na ginawa natin. Or the PDF. So, na-process na yung PDF. Tingnan natin yung PDF natin. Ayan. So, hindi ko siya ganun binasa. And I think tinatamad ako para basahin lahat. So, I can ask yung chatbot, we can assume na yung AI na to, binasa niya lahat. So, may alam siya because, ayun nga, sinachunk yung data and all. So, ang tatanong tayo, yan, tanong tayo, what are the common misconceptions about saving? Yan na. Tanong natin. What are the common misconceptions about saving? Ayan. Enter. User provides the query. ChromaDB gets relevant information behind the scenes. Tapos, yung bibigay niya yun sa AI, and yung AI, sasagot siya. So, yung AI na yun, ewan ko, ano nangyari. Medyo nagtitipid siya sa sagot. Pero ayan. So, sabi dito, misconception, you should not save in banks because they have low interest rates. Nasa section 2 daw. Let's see kung nandito yan. Ayan. Wala yun. Wala. Ayan, you should not save in banks because they have low interest rates. So, number 1 pala, hindi ko nakita. Ayan. So, sabi dito, false. You do not have to save to grow your money. Owning a saving account is meant to secure your money and have liquidity. So, tingnan natin, sabi niya. Ayan. You do not have to grow your money significantly to interest. Instead, it's meant to secure your money and provide liquidity. So, same thing. Same from the document, right? So, meron tayong functionality dito, which is, yun nga, yung pinaka-favorite kong feature. Makikita natin anong chunks, anong documents, yung saan nakita yun. So, as you can see guys, this is how the AI looks for an answer. Medyo tinipid, because yun nga, yung chunk natin is 1.5K lang. Pero, nasagot niya yung tanong natin. Based on the PDF, right? And as you can see, ito yung natin, all about saving, ganun. So, sa section 2, may mga supporting information like, si Mang Rafael daw, parang story siya. All of that. And there you go. Meron din tayo mga information like sa BSP, may pwede tayo i-download yan. So, according to Financial Wellness Journal, that's one of the common misconceptions about saving. Let's try another question. Yan, sabi natin. Yan, as a student, how can I save money properly? Enter. Yan. So, user gets query. ChromaDB gets relevant information, feeds to Gemini, and Streamlit here will show the answer ng Gemini. And there you go. So, provided sa text natin, here's how a student can save money properly. Number 1, budgeting and understanding needs and wants. Analyze needs and wants. Create a budget to analyze needs and wants better. Are you spending more on needs? Or is it mostly on spending on wants na ganun. Use the prosperity formula. May nalaman siyang ganon. So, it's based dito sa meron tayong formula. Income, saving is equals to expenses. Treat it, yan, immediately set aside your savings. Treat it as an expense for yourself and your family. Tapos, ayan, a lot of different things. So, how did that come up with this one? Ewan ko bakit ito hindi tinipid yung sagot. Anyways, but, ayan, ito yung mga chunks on how that happened. Right? So, what can you guys think about it? No? If you want to experiment, no? Maybe, if you pivot or tinker with the chunk size, mas madaming information yung makukuha niya. Right? And as you can see dito guys, gano'ng kadaming embedding IDs. Medyo madami. So, that's what happens behind the scenes. If you change this one, let's say, 4K, 4.5K, 1.5K, you can do that. Want more results? Ayan, dito. So, yeah, madaming pwede mangyari. So, that's, RAG. Do you guys have any questions you want to ask sa chatbot? Maybe. Kung gusto nyo na ganun. Based sa Financial Wellness Journal. Ayun, may nag-send ng Yeah, thank you so much, Miku. Yan. Ayan. Sabi dito ni Camille, Miss Camille, from PDF po yung example. Paano po if from a web page yung info? Well, that's what the utils.py is for. Right now, how I coded it is extract text from PDF. What if there is something called the extract text from a web page? So you can create you can customize utils.py. Gawa ka ng mo dito. And that's actually the purpose ng BS4 or Beautiful Soup sa requirements.txt. So you can get the HTML and there you go. So you can create your own. But for this example, yun, PDF lang siya. So, yun. Sabi din ni Renz, really smart guy. Currently, this tutorial is, limited to PDF. But you can convert and save the website to PDF. O nga pala, I didn't remember that. But in general, you can use other data sources like CSV, PDF, and Excel file. So, madami. So, yun. Basta guys, ang very important dito is ito, yung text. Yan. Itong, the way you do this. So, you just need to, kunyari, nakakuha na kayo ng information, ilalagay nyo lahat yon sa isang string. And from that string, aayusin nyo yon into different chunks. And from the chunks, yun yung magiging documents natin. So, it's a very similar process, but this process is specified for PDFs. Okay? So, meron pa tayong last, which is yung chat. Papakita ko lang. Para additional functionality lang siya. So, ito naman yung chat. Hindi, baliktad sa utils.py pala to. Yan. Yan, okay? So, ayan. If tayo because this is not the landing page. So, ayan, yung chat, ito siya. This is how you initialize a chat in Streamlit. So, additional lang siya. Yan. So, how does that look like? Rerun natin. Tapos punta tayo sa chat. So, ito siya. Ayan. So, simple lang siya. Hi. Tapos, ayan. Yun lang. And yeah, that's our demo today sa RAG. assistant. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And you guys got to follow through this. This is a very nice fundamental project if you are an AI engineer or students, gano'n. Kasi ang dami talagang gumagamit ng RAG. Very ano siya. Yeah, in demand. So, yeah, that's all. So, you guys, sa mga hindi nakasunod, sa mga maybe you got lost. Well, luckily, this GitHub or this project is available here. Okay? GitHub tayo. This is the link. Ayan. Can we also request access sa slides? Okay. Questions po. Can we upload more than one file? Ano yung current limitations niya? Kaya ba more than 100 PDF files? Okay. So, for that one, Renz, punta tayo sa ChromaDB. So, right now, yung example lang natin is isa lang. For this for this one, makikita natin sa code, nasaan na yun? Saan ba yun? Ay, hindi. Ito yung isa utils tayo. Ayan, sa source. Yan, meron tayong tinatawag na metadatas. Right now, pang isang ano lang to, pang isang document, pang isang PDF. If you guys want to add another PDF, you guys have to delete ChromaDB. You guys have to delete the or kill it, right? Tapos, ayan. Pero nag-run pa to, delete natin. Pag ayan, nag-delete na natin, wala na yung database. So, lahat ng information na persisted, na-delete na. So, how do you have more than one document? Well, you have to change this one, the logic here. Kasi right now, lahat ng source PDF lang. Wala lang, yun lang. So, kailangan mong palitan yan. Or, kunyari, ibang-iba naman yung version ng document. You can just add it sa, document under the source PDF pa din. Kasi mag-similarity search naman to. And, I'm sure, mapupunta rin yan doon. Pero, of course, if you want the best results, you have to delete the document, ChromaDB first. And do it again. Ayan. Grabe to mga tao. Hindi ko pa nabibigay yung link. Nabigay na yung link. Yeah, because yung, ano na to, nabigay ko na siya for other groups. So, ulit lang siya. So, thanks so much, Haftor. Guys, gawin natin to inspiration to create our own similar notebook LLM. That's really cool. Yeah, thanks so much, Renz, for that top comment. So, yeah, I want you guys to, maybe you guys can change the, yung knowledge base. Maybe you guys have your own information. Maybe you can create your own AI tutors. Or, ganon, di ba? May document, tapos, you want the advice ng AI, you put it here, right? So, yeah, thank you so much. You guys can, my name's Daniel Bagaforum here, and you guys can contact me sa LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn. And yeah, usually, I usually try my best na everyday. Aside kay Sir Alan Tan, I also provide sa, AI study group natin. So, yeah. If you guys, let's say, may project kayo na nagawa sa, what's this? RAG, right? Yung sa project natin. And you guys want to also do a demo, please message us sa AI study group and maybe we can set up a meeting, or not a meeting, a session, no? Na you guys are doing the, ni-walk through nyo yung mga tao sa project nyo and how you guys made it. So, yeah, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Baka may questions kayo.
Ay, ano ba yan?
So yeah, usually me as a person, ano ako, not really
Oh.
into AI ngayon, more on AI x blockchain engineer. So more on agentic na ako than Gen AI. But yeah, I really loved ano mga chatbots, even machine learning. So if you guys are interested sa machine learning or mga deep learning, I also do that. I remember one time we partnered with Code Sydney para sa oil spill detection model. I was the guy behind that. And yeah, really into blockchain and AI. So I hope you guys like that one. So yeah, we have Miss Kata again here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Daniel, no? As much as we want to extend the session, meron pa tayong susunod na Data Master session at 7 p.m. So, we still have to prepare for the technical, so, yung mga may questions, you can message Daniel directly. And, ano pa ba, Daniel? Meron kang, ibang
Yeah. Well,
ano pa?
buti na lang, kinabahan kasi akala ko nag-overtime na tayo sa Data Master. So, good thing it's still
May time pa
set.
naman. Yun nga lang, I would like to apologize also kasi nga yung aking live mukhang nagkaroon ng technical difficulties. So I'll try to connect my live video para sa Data Masters, no? So if you guys wanna join
Yep.
Data Masters, you may stay and just wait for 7 p.m. Malapit naman na. Okay? Thank you. Set up lang ako.